Right, back on the hashtag 3. Have to smash this bit out a little bit. You can see it's, use your eyes for comparison there. It's a little bit, not much. But, what the fuck? Nope. Okay, to access that, we're going to have to take out probably everything. You know what it's going to be, isn't it? Because even if you just remove that bit, there's still, mind you, they're clips, that's fine. Don't think there's any joins though. Get some clips out. Right, a little bit of light on the matter. Got clips either side, and then ones run along there. So this might lift out fairly easily. That is the emergency release for the charging port. Right, start losing these. Yeah, clips. Still in there. Okay, fair enough. Well, that has scuppered that plane. The idea was to knock that out. It's double skin, so I can't even reach it. You can see it's pushed that in very, very slightly. So I'll give that a knock, but as you can see, it's very slightly away there and touching there. So the only other option is do that thing where they weld things on it and pull it out. It's a bit beyond me, to be honest.
This calls for a very special blend of psychology and extreme violence.
Behold my genius! It's already a lot better. Not perfect, but it's a lot better. How do I do it? Well, there just happens to be holes. And I just happen to be able to stick an extension down there and knock it into position. Now there's a little bit there that I can't get hold of, and I've looked online. Apparently it's okay, because they do it for the smart repairs where they stick things through the holes and like massage the creases out. If I drill another hole, because that's a little bit too small, so if I drill a 12mm hole there, I'll be able to get that in there and do it. So we've got a carrot bit. Just going to throw a hole in that, I reckon. Well, the clips are straight. That's a lot more in position than it was. If it was any worse than that, I'd have just drilled out all these spot welds you can see in there, removed all the seam sealer and just replaced that panel, but it really wasn't that bad. And it goes without saying, if you do drill a hole in your car, don't forget to put a bit of paint around it so it don't rust from the inside. Right, as an extra bonus, I've put little rubber grommets in there, and you'll notice now that I've taken the pressure off the outside panel, the inside panel's moved out of the way of the boot trim. Sweet. Generally, you goes over quite nicely over the plastic, but as soon as you get to the headliner, you'll find that it sits a bit proud, so you have to try and get something behind it and whiz it around. Let's use one of these. Nice. Right, we need to build up the rear bumper by adding all this crap. It just seems to be excessive for me. And it actually looks like you have to put the side parts on first because there's a little lip, so the centre part goes over top of it.
Boring!
Again, work from the outside in. I've got a feeling he might have ordered me replacement ones in the centre, even though I might not need them. Yeah, it looks like he's ordered me the centre parts just in case, but they're actually a different colour. Original ones are like a brushed chrome, replacements are black. I don't think black's going to really make sense there. Hang on. No. There's actually two strips. So, one new chrome and one new black, that's all right. So we need the light that was broken on my one, didn't get ordered. That is down there somewhere, I think. I've got that light, so I'll add that next. So we'll flip this over and add all the electronics. Spun it over, obviously onto a soft cloth. Don't want any scratches on it. Make sure that everything is clipped in because there is a lot of clips and it's very easy just to not have them quite clipped in enough. I'll just go through them all and make sure they're all right. With the rear lights that go in there, there's no point in fitting those yet because they bolt into the upper and lower panels, and if you've got that bolted into the lower panel you won't be able to seat it against the painted section, so let's leave those out for the moment. And these are the small screws. Along with the lights, you also can't fit reversing camera or the registration number plate lights because these pass through both sections, so you might as well leave that till last. And that actually, although it pushes through there like that, it actually screws into the painted panel, so we can't fit that either. One thing we can definitely fit is the key antenna. That fits dead centre with the connector facing upwards and to the right. Right, the rest of this is blind spot sensors and reversing sensors. Now the blind spot sensors fit onto the painted part, so they're going to be flapping around for a bit. It might be worth disconnecting them and putting them off to one side to keep out of the way. But remember, that goes on the right hand side, so we can work from there. Right, that genuinely was a pain. because I'm used to things starting at one end and then nicely going over to the other end. No. Where's the fun in that? Instead of all going down one way, it splits into two. Now this top section that has the registration plate lights and the reversing camera, that clips onto the painted part that's obviously not here at the moment. The blind spot ultrasonics, they go to the painted section up here as well, and there's clips and stuff that are up here. Then you've got reversing sensor, and the ultrasonic loop for the kick sensor, and that runs up to there, but then everything else runs over the top and back in that way. And the only reason I actually worked it out was because some of these little standoffs were still attached. If you look at the spacing, you can sort of work it out eventually. That just goes to the light, that's fine. That goes up there. There is two clips on the back of the painted section. There's one at the bottom of the painted section, one that goes over there. Let me show you. And as you can see, that's where the blind spot ultrasonics go. You've got two clips for the wire in there, one back there. And finally, before I put this bumper away, I'll probably just put it back in the bubble wrap, is want to place some riv nuts in there. See if we've got the right sizes. I'm going to take the wheel off. This has got to go off for refurb anyway because it's got a big old gouge hanging out of it. Ideally I need to take it off so I can check the steering rod, see if that's alright, because as I said before, this wheel is cocked in slightly. Now according to Smart, these bolts are supposed to be 180 newtons. Now that seems excessive. Now looking at the maximum torque of that size bolt with that sort of thread, that's like nearly 80% of its highest torque value, which is not ideal. But that sort of torque, you're talking about a one use only, which is no good. But then when I took it off, I got them down to, I was using the torque wrench, and even on 100 it wasn't clicking as I was undoing them. And obviously it's different between tightening and untightening, but you'd expected it to have clicked around that sort of tightness. I did let Smart know that I thought it was a little bit too high, but they've ignored me, obviously. Nothing obvious. Yeah, I'd have expected that to have been more bent. That looks the same as on the other side. I wonder if maybe the wishbone's bent. And it's got a bit of a kink hook down there, but I'd have to compare it to the other side. Seems fine in there. Yeah, so undisclosed as to the issue there. Yeah, if it is the wishbone, I'll just change the wishbone. If it's not, then I'll just undo that and extend that slightly to bring it in the right position. Right, I'm going to compare the photographs of everything I can see under there to see if I can work out what the hell's going on. In the meantime, I'm going to take the bonnet clips off, and I can close the bonnet down so I can make sure it actually lines up with everything that's going to be in position. I've taken off a few things, but see, I can do it without even looking. And I can drop all the bits without even looking. Brilliant. Don't panic. Got it. It's not a fluke. I can do it all the time. Didn't look. I wasn't looking. Another thing I noticed that was different between the 3 and the 1. On the 1, it has squirters that are attached to the scuttle panel. Whereas the 3 has got the ones that have got the squirts built into the wiper blades. Nice. There we go, make sure that it's still lined up okay on that side. It lines up properly on that side as well. So I was a bit concerned that the bonnet was bent, because with the, let's call it eyebrows, the eyebrows in position, it was all sort of kinked right over, but you'll see that in the next video. So yeah, I'm off to double check photographs of things that could possibly be bent. Maybe order new front bumper, since there are bits of plastic that are broken in there. Don't really know. Alternatively, I've just fix the plastic bits and then take the car down to my man Stuart at SAR, and he'll fix all that up. I'll just buy a new one of those. It's not really expensive. Bought one before, I think it was like 30 quid. There's no point in spending 50 quid getting something repaired if I can get a new one for 30 quid. And another thing I found out was, we're talking about the centre caps, because the certain version of the 3 comes with the like a cover, and if you take that cover off, you've got no centre cap. But I've just got the centre cap out of my old #1 wheel, and that fits in it absolutely perfectly. 49mm ID and 55mm OD, so if you want plain ones, probably easily find them on Amazon or eBay or something like that. I'll have a little look out for those. Yeah, so there's not really much more I can do. Next Friday I'll have to take the unpainted bit down to SAR. I've got the one we just completed all nicely packaged up so they don't get damaged anymore. But yeah, we're definitely getting there. And honestly, I'm not trying to string this out, because I know that it's going to take ages to get the suspension kit for that one. So if you get a lot of 20-minute videos, that's because I'm stringing it out like an absolute cunt.